On the September 26th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, the tension hits boiling point as secrets unravel and relationships face brutal crossroads. Deacon Sharp's desperate plea for therapy sends Taylor Hayes reeling, while Electra Forrester is pushed to her emotional edge, confronting a betrayal that could destroy her trust and will Spencer forever. Inside the Forrester guest house, a storm brews. Electra sits frozen, blindsided by the crushing truth Will has just confessed. His voice trembles as he admits that Luna knows a very much alive and not the ghost Electra once feared had seduced him. But it's more than that. It wasn't just a moment of weakness or a fleeting mistake. There's a pregnancy test involved, and it belongs to Luna. Will's confession strikes like a blade. Luna is pregnant, and the child is his. The silence between Electra and Will is unbearable. Her expression morphs from disbelief to horror, then to heartbreak. How could he let this happen? She'd forgiven mistakes before, made excuses for late-night texts and cryptic phone calls, but this was betrayal she couldn't rationalize. She stares at him, eyes wide with fury and pain, unable to process the full weight of what's just been dropped in her lap. Will tries to backtrack, to explain. He tells her it was complicated, that Luna came to him in a moment of confusion, and that he never meant to hurt her. He insists they still have a future, that they can fix this together. But every word sounds hollow, every plea sounds selfish. Electra is done listening. The pregnancy news crushed the last sliver of hope she had for their relationship. She doesn't just blame Luna for pursuing Will, she blames Will for giving in, for being weak, for creating a life with another woman while still promising Electra forever. It's a gut punch. And Electra doesn't hold back. She unleashes months of bottled-up frustration, calling him out for every lie, every moment he made her feel like she was overreacting. She accuses him of not only sleeping with Luna, but destroying everything they built with that one reckless act. The more he begs, the more resolute she becomes. There's no salvaging this. No trust. No going back. Electra's heart shatters as she tells Will to leave. Whether she throws him out or walks away herself, one thing is clear: Electra is done. Meanwhile, across town in the calm serenity of her office, Taylor Hayes tries to find peace amid her own emotional chaos. But peace is hard to come by when Rich Forrester's absence still lingers in the air. Their breakup wasn't explosive, it was quiet, resigned, the way longtime relationships often crumble, not with a bang but a sigh. Still, the void Rich left is real, and Brooke Logan shows up, sensing the weight Taylor carries behind her composed exterior. Brooke's presence is surprisingly gentle. She's not here to stir the pot or reignite old rivalries. Instead, she offers support over unexpected. She encourages Taylor to keep her heart open, reminding her that change often comes when we least expect it. But Taylor isn't looking for a man. Not now. She tells Brooke she's fine being alone, that she doesn't need saving, doesn't need someone to complete her. She's finding strength in solitude. But fate has a twisted sense of humor. Just as Taylor reaffirms her independence, Deacon Sharp storms in with a look that spells trouble. After a blowout with Sheila, Deacon is emotionally unmoored. His usual swagger is gone, replaced by vulnerability. He doesn't need a drink. He doesn't need a fight. He needs help. Real help. And he wants it from Taylor. Taylor, at first, is stunned. Deacon, asking for therapy? It's not something she expected from a man who typically muscles his way through life. But something about his desperation feels genuine. He's spiraling after the chaos with Sheila, and now he's turning to Taylor not just as a therapist but as someone he trusts. She tries to maintain her boundaries, reminding him that he might benefit more from seeing someone impartial. But Deacon's plea is raw. He doesn't want just anyone. He wants her. Because she understands the darkness he's been through. Because she won't judge him. Because maybe just Maybeth believes he can still be redeemed. Caught off guard, Taylor hesitates. Part of her knows it's risky. Their history is complicated, and getting emotionally involved could blur the lines. But part of her, perhaps the part that's still healing from Rich, feels a pull. a curiosity, a need to connect. Maybe helping Deacon will help her too. Back at the guest house, Will stands outside the door Electra just slammed in his face. His shoulders slump, and for once, the confident son of Bill Spencer looks utterly lost. He pulls out his phone, hovers over Luna's name, but doesn't press call. He doesn't know what to say. He's made a mess he can't clean up. A baby on the way. A woman he loves gone. And no roadmap for what comes next. Electra, behind that closed door, collapses into tears. The strength she showed in kicking Will out fades, replaced by the devastating reality of what she's lost. Her dreams, her plans, her trust, all shattered by one truth she never saw coming. The bold and the beautiful isn't slowing down, and these twists are only the beginning. Electra's heartbreak is real, raw, and irreversible for now. But the future is wide open. Will she find healing or vengeance? Will Will try to be a father to Luna's child? Will Taylor's connection with Deacon spark something deeper than therapy? And what role will Brooke play in Taylor's next chapter? One thing is certain, in this world, love is never simple, and betrayal never goes unpunished. Stay tuned. The fallout from the wire trap incident has finally erupted, sending shockwaves through Los Angeles and placing every major player on the bold and the beautiful into dangerous, irreversible territory. What began as a calculated manipulation has now morphed into a full-blown legal and emotional crisis, and the person at the epicenter, Luna, knows away, staring down the barrel of potential prosecution. While Electra Forrester finds herself unwillingly thrust into the role of key witness, Will Spencer, once cocky and unshakable, is now a man unraveling under the weight of consequences he never saw coming. It started as a setup. Luna had orchestrated the wire trap to gather dirt on Will, helping to gain leverage, possibly for emotional revenge or power within the Spencer dynasty. Whatever her original motive, the plan spiraled out of control. Surveillance turned invasive. A private moment turned hostile. The culmination was a terrifying night that ended with a firearm pointed directly at Will's chest. Whether Luna meant to pull the trigger or simply wanted to scare him, the damage was done. The police were involved, but somehow the investigation faded into the background until now. The case has been reopened. Law enforcement, under pressure from internal affairs and a fresh string of media leaks, has decided to take a second look. New evidence has emerged. Forensic data, digital communication trails, deleted files recovered. Everything points back to Luna, and this time, there's no room for denials or distractions. Investigators want answers. They want justice. And they want it fast. Electra Forrester, who was once caught in the emotional crossfire between Will and Luna, is now the linchpin in the prosecution's case. She was there. She heard the threats. She saw the gun. She knows what Luna died in the state wants her to testify. Subpoenas have been issued. Lawyers have already knocked on her door. Electra, emotionally wrecked from Will's betrayal and the revelation of Luna's pregnancy, now has a moral and legal burden she never asked for. She doesn't want to protect Will. She doesn't want to protect Luna. She wants peace. But peace isn't an option anymore. Will, reeling from the reemergence of the case, scrambles to contain the blowback. His father, Bill Spencer, is furious. The elder Spencer warned him months ago that getting involved with Luna would only lead to chaos, but Will didn't listen. Now, with Luna possibly facing felony charges and the Spencer name once again smeared across headlines, Bill demands that Will cut all ties with Luna and prepare to support the legal team with everything he's got. But Will is torn. Luna is carrying his child. The mother of his unborn baby is about to be tried for a crime that could put her behind bars for years. Does he abandon her now or stand by her and risk dragging his entire family down in the process? At the same time, Luna is unraveling. She never thought it would come to this. Her confidence, once icy and calculated, is breaking. She's scared. She's pregnant. She's under investigation. Her legal team is circling the wagons, but the facts aren't in her favor. There's audio. There's footage. There's motive. And the scariest piece of all, Elektra. Because if Elektra takes the stand and tells the truth, Luna's fate is sealed. Her lawyers know this. They've tried to reach out, attempted to sway Elektra behind the scenes, even floated settlement offers disguised as emotional reconciliation. But Elektra is done playing games. Inside the Forrester mansion, Elektra paces, holding the subpoena in one hand and her shattered heart in the other. She replays the night at the wire trap over and over again. The screaming, the panic, the moment Luna raised the weapon. It wasn't a bluff. Elektra saw the look in her ice rage, fear, desperation. Elektra had wanted to believe it was all just a misunderstanding, but now she realizes it never was. And the truth won't go away. It's haunting her. The district attorney's office knows that Elektra's testimony is the nail in the coffin. They're counting on her to bring Luna down. She could lie. She could say she didn't see anything clearly. She could protect herself from the media firestorm. But deep down, she knows she has to tell the truth. Taylor Hayes, now pulled into the periphery of this case through her sessions with both Will and Deacon Sharp, senses the mental toll this is taking on everyone. Elektra's name keeps coming up in Deacon's rants. Will shows up to her office on edge, unable to focus, unable to think clearly. Taylor knows this is more than a scandal. This is trauma. Lives are being ripped apart, and no one is coping well. Even Ridge Forrester gets pulled into the mess when news reaches him that Elektra may testify. Ridge wants to protect his family's name, but Elektra isn't just a Forrester, she's his daughter's closest friend. He can't stop her from doing what's right, even if the fallout drags the entire Forrester legacy through the mud. Brooke Logan, ever the strategist, warns him to tread carefully. If the Forresters are seen as interfering in a legal case, it could be disastrous. The media catches wind of the reopened case, and suddenly the scandal is everywhere. Headlines explode. Forrester insider faces pressure to testify. Spencer heir linked to armed conspiracy. Pregnant suspect faces jail time. Paparazzi swarm the courthouse. Social media explodes with speculation. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone is watching. The day of the pretrial hearing arrives. Luna, visibly shaken, walks into the courthouse flanked by attorneys. Her stomach is barely showing, but the pregnancy has become a symbol of the tangled web she's caught in. Will is there too, sitting quietly, trying not to make eye contact with Elektra. And then she arrives. Elektra steps out of the black SUV, straight-backed and composed, wearing a simple black dress and no jewelry. She doesn't speak to the press. She doesn't smile. She walks straight into the courtroom, ready to tell the truth. Inside, the mood is tense. The judge calls the session to order. The doll lays out the initial charges: unlawful surveillance, criminal coercion, brandishing a weapon, and reckless endangerment. Luna pleads not guilty on all counts. Her attorneys argue emotional instability, pregnancy-related mental stress, and manipulation by outside parties. They float the idea that Will himself may have provoked the confrontation. But it's thin. Then it's time for Elektra's testimony. The courtroom goes still. Cameras click. Journalists scribble notes. Will looks down at the floor. Luna holds her breath. Elektra takes the stand. Her voice doesn't shake. She recounts the events in brutal detail. The trap. The threats. The moment the gun came out. The chaos. The fear. The sound of Will pleading. She never once wavers. The judge watches her closely. The Dawn nods approvingly. Luna's attorneys scramble to find angles to discredit her, but there are none. Elektra has nothing to gain. She isn't suing anyone. She doesn't want fame. She just wants to be free of the lies. When she steps down from the stand, the silence is deafening. The damage is done. In the days that follow, Luna's legal team works behind the scenes to negotiate a plea deal. Jail time is still on the table, but so is a reduced sentence if she cooperates and shows remorse. Will is torn. He visits her in private, tells her he'll support the baby, but can't shield her from justice. Elektra, now fully detached, begins moving on with her life, though not without scars. She's stronger now, but colder. She trusted Will. She gave Luna the benefit of the doubt, and they both betrayed her. Taylor continues to work overtime, counseling the emotional wreckage. Deacon, watching from the sidelines, sees the destruction unfold and begins to question everyone's motives, including his own. Brooke and Ridge try to shield their family, but even they can't avoid the headlines. The truth is out, and everyone is exposed. The wire trap was just the beginning. Now the real consequences begin. As the court date looms and Luna faces the full weight of the law, the balance of power in Los Angeles has shifted. No one is safe. No secret stays buried.